I'm Elia Haber for the Beirut Banyan. While going up, I see this group of people huddled around a canvas, making a big artistic expression of their mood for that day. And I decided to stop and ask what it was about. If you can just state your name and your age and your profession.
Rania Mroue, 48. I'm an actress and a drama coach.
So Rania, why are you here today?
I'm sick of corruption. I cannot take it anymore. And I have two boys that are in college now. And before this, I was telling them, you should finish your studies and go out of Lebanon. Because I do not accept, not at all, that I go to some Zaim. I don't want to go to anybody to tell them, please, can you help me to find a job for my son? I don't want that. I don't want them to be loyal. Loyalty, I mean, I like them to be loyal to their country, to their dreams, to their profession, to their colleagues, to each other, but not to some person, corrupted person, and taking the money of the people, and they have to clap for him and saying yes just to stay in their job and to have a little space to have a home. This is not home. This is not a country that we want to live in. I was in their age and I thought of going out, and I said no, I want to stay with my friends, family and everything. And now I was thinking that was a bad decision. I'm not sure it was bad or not, but then I couldn't leave. Now I'm telling them to leave. Now in this we have the dream again that we may have a better country, a country that we would, all of us, find a place according to what we can do, according to how much effort we put in, not according to our sect or religion or anything. That's why I'm here. The list is very, very long if I want to say the things, the human rights, the minimum. Electricity, road, health, education, all the simple things. I'm not talking about lots of things. We are dreaming again, and the dream is gathering us, and I'm not sure how this will continue. Nobody knows now, but we are hoping and we are insisting not to let the dream go.
So since we're talking about the dream, and the first steps to realizing dreams is to be here, and you're already here, how do you feel about the first step that the government took, like the resignation of the cabinet?
I feel that they wouldn't have done it if we weren't in the streets. I'm not sure what they want to do next. I feel suspicious about them because I know all these years that you cannot trust this kind of people in government. But we are just waiting and not prejudging also. We don't want to prejudge. We are very clear. People are very clear what we want. I know it is very, very hard that they make a government not related to any politician. It is very tricky, and it is tricky to find someone in Lebanon that is good and knows all these things and not related to any party or something.
Okay, so you're asking for a cabinet that does not have the current parties that were already in the previous cabinet. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and not even related to a party that is not in this cabinet, because, for example, Kataib is not. I don't want someone from Kataib. I want someone that has more loyalty to their country as an individual and is good in what he does in his profession.
So would you accept the Prime Minister to be Saad Hariri again?
I'm not sure. It's not about Saad Hariri himself. It's about what he is able to do. If he himself came again, maybe he will not be able to do a big difference from the government that was.
Do you trust that he could come with a new cabinet that you feel you can trust?
I do not trust. I feel that he would not be able to, even if he wanted to.
Okay. So do you still believe in كلٌ يعني كلٌ?
I believe in كلٌ يعني كلٌ, but not in the same percentage. There are people that are more into the corruption and there are less. But even if somebody knows, he is into corruption. If he didn't do anything, he is into corruption because he knows and he didn't talk. I'm not talking about the heads of parties that or religious people, or I'm not talking about those. I'm saying that everybody who was in the government one day, he knows about corruption and he was part of it in some way.
So what do you want from the new cabinet that will be hopefully formed soon?
We need an early elections. دائرة واحدة خارج القيد الطائفي. I want this first. Parallel to استقلالية القضاء. This has to be parallel because they have to sue the people who were into the corruption. At the same time, we are planning for the elections.
Let's say that the cabinet you're hoping for has elements of the previous parties, because these are still part of the country, right? You might not agree with them, but other people still think that they represent them. Do you trust that they will come up with such an electoral law, like no sectarian divisions?
Not very much. I do not trust it very much, but I think this will be a reality that we cannot go away from. There would be some elements of other parties, if that would be the last solution. But I think people should be always listening and watching. We cannot play the role of not listening and not hearing, not seeing, and just continuing our life. We cannot do that role anymore.
You just touched on a topic I really wanted to go into, and that is listening and watching. And I'm gonna transfer it now on how you get your news. Do you watch TV? Are you on some sort of social media that you trust more to get your news? How do you feel about that? Do you feel that what you have as options right now help you exercise watching and listening?
I watch TV. I use the social media, and I listen to my friends. We talk. I'm always putting everything in a balance, because there are lots of talking, lots of things that are not true. Yesterday there was a bombardment of lies. It is another kind of war. So I was telling all my friends, be careful. 70% of what you are getting, messages or videos, or are misleading or lies. So I watch and hear and we talk, and at the end I go to the trustful people and just talk and ask orally, not through phones, to know where I'm misguided, because I'm not sure of everything as everybody. Yeah.
So those would be your friends that you talk to
Friends.
trustworthy?
Yes, friends, and even people I trust that know about economics, or there are some trustful people that are around us now.
If you are on the street and you are seeing something that's happening and you would like to tell others about it, so you are kind of a reporter yourself, how would you do that? What would you do? Do you use social media? Do you try to find someone with a camera and tell them come?
Yeah, I did that. Through social media. I was either live on Instagram or Facebook, or recorded a short video to ask people on the social media to even participate or to tell them what's really happening. I used the videos, and if not, I used the recorded messages. The day before yesterday, I was here and I talked to the people on my groups, WhatsApp groups. I told them what's really happening and that we are okay. And then I went live because they were calling, where are you? Are you okay? So yes, social media would help a lot in this case.
My last question, and that is hopefully a continuation of your dream. 1 year from now, what do you think people will remember most, or what do you hope they will remember most about this moment in our history?
Our unity. I want them to remember our unity, not our fights.
I find this guy flying his drone and taking pictures of the egg. I come closer to check him out. Let's start with some basics. If you can just tell me your name and your age, please.
Carlos Haidamous, 24 years old.
Okay, Carlos, so the first question would be, why are you here today?
Just like everybody else, everyone is here for certain rights because a lot of our rights are missing in Lebanon. We don't get them, so we're just asking for them. As simple as that.
Why now, though? We've had our rights not necessarily respected, let me put it that way, for a really long time, I assume. What made you change your mind now?
When everything started, I was abroad. I was traveling for a week, and protests started here. 2 days or 3 days before I had to come back. I didn't believe in it, actually. I thought that it's just like every other protest. They're gonna do it for 2 days and then they're going home. After that, I was following on social media and I saw the people saying the famous term كلن يعني كلن. There was a lot of them, more than any other time before, and in every single region, especially in Trablus. I was amazed by what happened in Trablus. So this made me change my mind slowly until I couldn't wait until I come back and hit the streets directly. That's what happened. I came back and to the streets, just like everyone else.
Okay, and since your experience actually involves you being away when the action started, did you feel that the image you got through social media or however way you were consuming news was faithful to what you saw when you came back?
Actually, at first it was. At the very beginning, yes, it was. The news were accurate, were truthful, everything, videos and everything. With the progress of the protests, fake news started all over. I shared the do not share fake news thing, and I did not share the news that came to me that were not 100% sure or can be fake. Mainly pictures and phrases in pictures that they're gonna cut the internet. I didn't share these, and I asked the people who shared them and they were fake to remove them.
How do you verify your news?
It's mainly taking precautions by yourself. So it is known that any pictures can be faked. Anyone can write any sentence on any photo and just send it there. There are some type of stuff that we don't share, voice notes especially. We shouldn't share every voice note that comes to us. On the other hand, videos can be the most truthful thing you can share or receive. So mainly I focused on this, and I did not share any photo or video that I wasn't sure of.
And about news, let's talk about what happened these last 4 or 5 days. We had the cabinet resignation, and then we had a couple of speeches by different political representatives in the country. How do you feel about how the government has acted so far? And what should come next?
What the Prime Minister did was the thing that should have been done, because this is simply what people are asking for. And as usual, they promised us stuff. But the difference here between these promises and the other promises that we are pressuring them to do it. Before that, we were not giving any pressure on them. They could do anything they want. But right now, they cannot be as not caring for creating stuff, for making things better. They don't have the option, because people are still on the streets, even though less people are on the streets. But anytime, any second, every single one can come from his house to the streets, hit the streets directly. So they don't have the option not to work, not to improve.
So you're still on the streets. What do you expect next from the government, or what are you waiting for? Why are you still on the streets?
Everyone on the streets wants to work step by step. The first step was the reassignation of the prime minister. That's checked. The second step is the formation of a new cabinet. And that's what the people are asking for as per the dustur of the country. So the people on the streets are aware, most of them actually, are aware of the laws, and they want to rebuild the country or make improvements step by step as it should be.
In that new cabinet, how would you gauge or how would you measure if the new government is serious about change?
Considering the streets, considering the people on the streets, considering mainly Trablus and the power it's giving to the people and the energy giving to the protesters all over Lebanon, they will have to improve. They don't have any other choice. They have to keep their promises this time.
About the promises, how do you feel about the slogan "Killun yani Killun"? What does that mean to you if you believe in it?
What I believe is right now كلٌ يعني كلٌ is 100% true. كلٌ يعني كلٌ, they should be removed. But what I personally think, very personal opinion, that at this right moment today, this cannot be done. We have to work out with the system to get our rights, to make a change, to get the basics, and in several years, in a lot of years, things will change. كلٌ يعني كلٌ, they will be كلٌ removed.
Okay, and how do you see that happening? Do you expect reforms in the judicial system? Or do you have hope in a new elections? How do you see that happening over the years, since you see it as a long battle?
We saw the last elections. They should have been removed, all of them. I'm not sure why it didn't happen actually. But the thing is, people are changing mentality, and there's a new generation with a new mentality. So when this generation has more power, these guys will make the change.
Okay, and since we're talking about the young generation, I'm gonna end with my last question, and that would be, if you're looking at this a year from now, and you're looking back at this moment in our history, what do you think will be the most memorable thing, or what do you want people to remember from this?
With all these protests all over Lebanon, we already made history. History will talk about these protests. We'll talk about the human chain from Akkar to Sur. This is something we did. Every single one in foreign countries was talking about this. My friends were talking about it. We already made history. We already showed the world that we are peaceful, that we just want our rights and we want change. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. I hope. I prefer to live day by day actually, but I really have big hopes in this. I hope everything will work out. Really hope.
Elia Haber signing off from Martyrs Square for the Beirut Banyan.